Hi, we are Mortalfall. My name is Anastasia. I'm the singer.
My name's Steve. I play guitars.
I'm Martin. I tickle the ivories, keyboards, and I do vocals.
And I am Alex and play the drums.
So we also have a bassist missing. He's doing his part, Tristan. He's staying strong,
Staying home.
beating the COVID. So the name itself, Mortalfall, refers to the fall of man and how we must all, as individuals, stare into the abyss and accept. The band itself started about 3 years ago, where like minds of all different styles and interests met.
And what makes our sound unique is that all band members like different kinds of metal, so everybody has its own input to the sound.
So how are we spending time in quarantine? Well, I'm personally loving it. I get to catch up on all sorts of film and literature, work on linguistics a little bit, and yeah, a lot of exercise in many different forms. I leave that to the imagination. What about you, Alex?
I just listen more music, some new bands, and practicing a little bit more.
Well, personally, I'll catch up with some books, films. We are working on some new material and try to rehearse a little more.
That's
than we
important.
usually do.
That's important. A lot of new songs are written in this time. So.
Yeah,
Steven?
inspired.
For the most part, I'm actually back to work already, and but I was practicing for quite a bit. But for right now, I'm using my hands for welding and planting strawberries.
Beautiful. First of all, I would like to say it's not really our place to talk about COVID situation because we're musicians, we're not doctors or scientists, but as usual, Marty always has something to say.
Of course, it's a real thing and it's unfortunate. You can speculate all you want, but I think it's going to be a brand new world emerging out of this. And the question is, have we reached the point of no return? Because remember, whether it was made or planned or whatever, there's forces and factors at play here. There is a war on your brain and your perception. So don't trust everything you see. You know, sometimes it's good to tune out away from that sensationalism, and I think it's good to reflect and take it one step at a time.
So Point of Departure, it's our first EP that was meant to show the variety of kind of styles and influences that we have in music, but at the same time it has all the same sounds and themes. I'm saying it
You can say
correctly.
that. This started as working on these original songs over the last couple of years, and there was this calamity of different styles and influences. So by releasing that, it's kind of setting the ground of what we're capable of and where we're going. It's the title itself. You can lose your let go of those inhibitions. Forget people's expectations and just do what you feel, and forge ahead with our unique doom and gloom.
So the lyrics are inspired by mostly all dark things in life, personal struggles, just philosophy, questioning our existence, and all this fun stuff. So the artwork, for me, the idea was to show different also lyrical themes that we have. Artwork is the forest with the path, and then you see a little portal surrounded by skulls and skeletons, which might lead, it's up to your interpretation, might lead to the afterlife or a portal to the different world or maybe a different place. It's free for interpretation.
You can't see the forest for the trees, and it's up to you whether you take that extra leap. So That's what point of departure means, where you're comfortable with your surroundings, but the grass isn't always greener on the other side. Do you take that extra step? Do you dare to venture forth? Label support, whatever's left of them these days. I don't think it's completely necessary to have one. Of course, a little assistance always helps, but the way it works now, the traditional methods of promotion like videos and airplay, it's not the same anymore. So you already have to be kind of established and active as a band for a label to even do anything. That being said, they invest in you, so that money ain't yours. You have to owe it back to them, and if you don't continue your streak or hype, they can drop you just like that. So I think the internet, it's been good to a lot of bands, but you always have those carbon copies as well. So maybe 20, 30 years ago, when there was a lot more money involved in promotion and the industry, it would be necessary. Not so much anymore. So I think you really have to love and believe in what you do, because the money isn't there anymore, folks.
And I honestly don't think labels are useful these days, because I never heard of small bands being signed by big labels and going up, you know. These days labels only sign, like Marty said, only sign the bands that are already popular and already have established audience, which in this case kind of defeats the purpose.
But that shows that the band's actually working, right?
Yeah,
So.
It can be a shitty band working this way.
And like he said before, like 30 years ago, it might have been more important, but since we're in the days of the internet now, and there's a lot more ways to, you know, get yourself out there. So they're not the only ones to actually pave the way for you.
If you want to help us, great. If not, we don't care.
We love music.
So we had a couple of gigs scheduled for the summer, including some gigs for charity, but unfortunately due to COVID, they were cancelled. We don't know when the whole live music scene is gonna be back. So yeah, that's that.
No virus will ever kill live music. As you can see, we've been itching to play, and you can have your YouTube videos, you can have your streams, but nothing compares to that raw face-to-face energy. So we're all itching to play. We got Alejandro here on the drums. He's ready to pound those skins. We got Steven. He's just waiting to tear it up and shred it up.
Yeah, this is actually going to be my first official show, so I was really looking forward to it, unfortunately. But, you know, it'll happen eventually.
Oh. So every live gig can turn into a total epic fail if the sound is bad, or attendance is shit, or like there are so many different factors that can affect your performance. Yeah, it's a sensitive subject.
I think any gig can be amazing or epic if, you know, the audience is engaged, that energy is mutual. You give off, you receive, and it just grows and grows and grows. So if you got a decent sound, the audience is into it, those are the best gigs in general. I don't know, in terms of epic fails, we haven't played live much because we were switching songs and lineups around. But we did play one gig a couple of years ago, starting out in the middle of a nice Canadian snowstorm. And our buddies from Battle Soul came from London. They somehow managed to get there. But yeah, it was a snowstorm, so all these Canadian wimps stayed home, and there was maybe 20 people there, including the bands. So we had our fun still. It was still good, but yeah, it's playing live can be like a cold shower. It's a love-hate relationship for me, and the positives have to outweigh the negatives.
I don't really have so much of an epic fail. It just the one time I did play, it was a small open mic, and me and my buddy had one song, and I had two solos, and I messed up the first one and nailed the second one, so it felt like everybody in the room was clapping.
Keep going. All right, any new heavy music that caught my ear? Honestly, I don't follow new stuff as much as I should, but the stuff that's been shown or I kind of stumbled upon. There's a nice Finnish symphonic black metal band called Faustian Pact. Very kind of keyboard atmosphere driven, like old Dimmu Borgir. So Faustian Pact came out last year, I think, which Finnish album title I'm not going to try to pronounce. But yeah, they're great. The new Blut aus Nord, French black metal, Hallucinogens, the album, very kind of psychedelic, almost black metal. So you have these huge soundscapes, almost like Pink Floyd trying to do black metal, really cool stuff. Of course, the new Paradise Lost, ever since the early 2000s when they came back to their goth metal roots, they've been putting out great stuff. Even a local band from Toronto, Tomb Mold, really good kind of straight to the point death metal, and our buddies in Human Compost Investigation make some great stuff. So that's what I've been digging lately.
Well, there's one artist that comes to mind definitely. It's huge inspiration. You might have heard of him, Buckethead. He's got approximately 275 albums out in the last 6 or 7 years now. And if I could make just one recommendation you guys should check out, it's Pike 271, The Squaring of the Circle. Great song.
So our nearest plan for the future is to release a single that has been inspired by the current lockdown situation. The single is gonna be called Freedom. We are heading to the studio hopefully by the end of the month. About the live gigs, I cannot really say anything because again we don't know when the live gigs are gonna resume. Maybe a live stream, but I don't really like doing live streams. So
Yeah, you don't see the audience interaction on the other
we'll
side.
see how it's gonna go. But yeah, the single is the first priority right now.
And with all this free time, you bet your ass we're gonna be ready to rock. So we hope to see you out in the real world. Take care. This is Mortalfall signing off. Hail.